Hello gamers, it is time for another episode of Let's Play the Repopulation. Hello gamers, Tigwyk here again with the Repopulation, and this would be Let's Play the Repopulation episode 9 I think by this point. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far, and now I finally managed to get a vehicle on this character so we can actually drive around somewhere far away. That tree just stopped me, really? How low hanging is that tree? Huh, okay. I swear that tree just stopped me. So now we can take our vehicle here, our cycle that I bought off the open market on the auction house, and we can drive around the countryside way faster than before. As you can see, here we go. Nice particle graphics all around us and the foliage. Look at the foliage! And hopefully if we get back onto the main road, which I think is back this way, there's a road leading north out of the city, which we took a little bit a while ago in one of the past videos. I forget which one now. We went out there and we kind of did that a few missions in the northern part. I'm hoping that we can go a lot further now, especially since something else that got fixed since the last recording is this teleport Plymouth ability that I now have, which will finally get me back to Plymouth in one piece if I bother to trigger that. So that's nice. That means we can actually just like go way out in the wilderness now and not have to worry about finding a way back or dying to get back. We can just hit the teleport Plymouth and teleport back to Plymouth. And my, oh, that was an interesting ride there, my cycle riding several feet in the air. I've noticed that usually that happens if there's a zone change and it lags, and it'll kind of hover you up in the air until it kind of sinks everything. And I've had situations before where I rode across an entire zone like that because it didn't bother to sink until I kind of hit the very end, and then it plopped me back on the ground, and I went from there. It was pretty funny actually. Already we're decently far out here. We're just near the Glenwood, which is west of Founders Grove, which is we're kind of northwest of Plymouth City down there. As you can see, there are monsters around us. I don't actually know what they are. I can't tell. Is that them? Oh, it's a Raxin. Oh, cool. Let's go kill us a Raxin. Also wanted to show off the action mode here. If we do action mode, there we go. So this is kind of like Mass Effect's way of playing. It's like an action RPG mode, and if we click, and it fires off our first attack, which is I guess the auto attack. And if I right click, it's supposed to rotate through the other ones. So I can find where's that other Raxin? There it is. I'll kill you, Raxin. Lag? I think that was some lag. Not really sure what happened there, except that I didn't see him die. Perhaps we'll try this one. Kill the Raxin! And I'm trying to shoot. There, okay, there we go. And I right click and I don't really know what it did. Oh, I guess it used up my ability 4 there on the bar, which is Flesh Wound. So it does. It seems to, if you right click, it rotates through the through your abilities, which is kind of cool actually. I hadn't played the game. Oh, he's still alive. Holy crap. Let's try that. There we go. I haven't played a lot of action mode because I play this mostly for the, well, I don't play it mostly for the crafting, but I do a lot of crafting on my other character, and so I don't really have to, I don't think that I feel the need to dive into action mode, RPG mode, whatever, when I'm out there in the wilderness. But I must admit, it is pretty fun actually to pretend I'm playing Mass Effect and running out there and dodging between stuff and shooting monsters. What is that? A person? Who is that? Oh, it's a Raxin trying to kill a patrolman. We should probably help that patrolman. There you go. You're free, patrolman. I helped you. You saved your life. No, that's fine. Don't return the favor or anything. No, that's cool. I'll just can I get the body? Nope. I was really hoping to loot that body for Raxin parts, since I am a genetic engineer. Perhaps I... oh wow. Oh, never mind. Okay, that was just very laggy. I would have been able to get that if I had stayed in one place. And now... yeah, okay, so that lag, the latency right now is a bit weird. It's kind of stopping things from working properly. I'm a little scared to actually check what my latency is at, because I'm sure it's skyrocketing into the many hundreds right now since we're not seeing a response from the game when I click on certain things. That's a bad sign. When the game stops responding, you're going to have a bad time. So if I run around a bit here, it's either going to resynchronize everything and perhaps put me somewhere randomly. Either that, or I may actually have to kill the game session here and go back into it. Yeah, I think it still hasn't shown me the latency. I think it's desynchronized. Oh, and we're about to crash, maybe. Nope, never mind. Weird. Okay, let's try doing that. And excellent. Now, as I'm talking to you, I can quit the game and try and go back into it. So it's an alpha. This happens right now, where sometimes it'll desync in such a way that you can't really recover, and the only way is to quit the game and go back into it. In this case, my game is actually hung to the point. I mean, it's responsive, but it's broken to the point where I can't even quit because it won't separate itself from the server right now. Right, the client thinks that it's probably just waiting on the server to go, okay, your character's logged off, and that's never going to happen, so it's kind of stuck in this state. I've seen, I think, one bug report of this so far, and I want to add my own to it eventually, but let's see if we can get back in the game very quickly here, so as not to put you out for too long. It's not a huge deal at this point because it doesn't happen that often. I think the most often kind of crashing that I get right now is simply crash to desktop and you just go in right away, and it's fairly quick to get back into the game. It takes only about a minute or so. It doesn't have huge loading times or anything, so at least during the alpha phase I'm not too put out by this unfortunate process that I have to go through. Usually once a game session on a good day. On a bad day it might be a few times, but eventually it evens out. Either the latency problems go away temporarily because either my connection stabilizes or the connection of the server stabilizes, I don't know. But eventually, sometimes it's very playable for many hours at a time. You don't even notice the problems, then all of a sudden desync and you have to quit your session and go back in again. I'm not even sure. I mean, we are actually, let me just change this. We are at this loading screen. Oh, here we go. Okay, so now I will go back in and play our character again. So yeah, these loading screens go by fairly quickly. All of your interactions with NPCs may have consequences. Choose your actions wisely. Oh, I wasn't actually fully aware of that. Remind me not to burn any bridges. There's underworld skills like pickpocketing stuff that you can use to, well, to do things like that. And sometimes I think you can actually target your own faction. In which case you might anger them, and then I guess this applies, right? If you anger people on your own faction, they may not like you, and maybe, I don't know, maybe you'll lose mission attempts with them. Maybe, I know for a fact that if you anger your own faction, they start to attack you on sight, and so you can be aligned with FPR or Owen at the other side, and either way, even if you're aligned with them but you've been stealing their stuff and they've been catching you, then you can be in your own hometown and have the guards and everybody else turn on you and nobody wants to interact with you anymore. So these are things to keep in mind when going down the dark roads so far. Because it's not very balanced, it's extremely difficult to get back on track as well. I hope this is not turning into a loading screen of death, because we've been sitting on this one for a while now. Right, that was a loading screen of death. The client crashed yet again. That is fantastic. Let's try one more time here. Okay. Launch this. We'll see what happens here. I'm really hoping we can get some more play. I'd like to just roam the countryside, kill some more stuff, drive our cycle across the universe, and get in. Are we going to get in today? Oh, well, we're getting somewhere. We have a cursor with a... Oh, okay. This is good. Having a vehicle really unlocks a lot of possibilities. Without a vehicle, you start to feel very restricted on the areas that you can go, because I mean, yeah, you again with that teleport skill, you can go out pretty far and then just teleport back home. But it's hard to get out there. It's hard to find the same spots again without running into monsters or something that's going to attack you. That's the other interesting part and a hard part is like you might have a really great spot, but you can't get there without a vehicle because there's a million mobs on the way that want to attack you, and you can't get past them fast enough on foot to go, you know, maybe harvest those resources that you found, or go do that dungeon that you found, or whatever it's going to be. So with a vehicle, you can actually, oh wow, and we are spawning in the sky. Oh, on the ground. Right. So these are again quirks of the alpha game client. Sometimes you get loaded in weird ways. And oh, this Owen fellow is fighting another Raxin. Let's help him out. Ah, there we go. Oh. Jump up on that rock. Maybe we can we interact with this Raxin? We can. Excellent. I get the resources from this Raxin with the help of that Owen patrolman over there. Well, my frame rate is tanking all of a sudden. Ooh, that's rough. There we go. Let's turn this way. Why is that happening? And we will hop on our cycle. There it is. That's somewhat better. And where can we go? We're over here in Linwood. Oh, let's just keep following the road then. We'll just head straight up this mountain here. You may notice right now that my mini-map is white. That's also a known bug if you end up alt-tabbing in the game while it's loading or other stuff, and I think I did that explicitly while we were talking and while I was trying to bring the game up again for you there, since it crashed in the middle of it. I'm sure that if I logged out and logged back in again, it would be fixed. I wonder if it'll be fixed if I just do a Control-G. No. That is also interesting. Good to know. There's a zone change. We saw it just fell out of the sky again. As we're going along here, I just somehow got rocket boosters on this crappy old cycle of mine. Off into the wilderness, where we will stop, nobody knows. There are setlangs in our way. You move, setlangs. You don't want to be hit by my cycle. Where can we go? We'll just jet around this little S-curve here. Oh, there's people shooting at me. Let's get out of here. This thing's not fast enough. Go, go, go. Oh, I am totally off course. Well, that's the fun of having a cycle, is that I can just go completely off course. Is this like a tent? It's a camp. Oh, that's interesting. There's nothing there. Just some sort of random tent structure. There's nobody around to guard it, and nobody doing anything with it. Let's get back on track. I think the road... Oh, there's the road. Okay, cool. We're back by the road. Look at the trees in the distance. See, that's actually really nice. This area... I guess I should let it load a little bit since it's a bit choppy there. This area is quite pretty. The forest and the trees. I wonder if there's a lake around. Nope. Zone change. We'll fly through the sky again. Wow. Will it put me back on the ground? Eventually. I don't think that counts. Oh, maybe that counts. I was gonna say I don't. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell whether you've successfully changed zones or if it's still desynced when you're just a little bit off the ground. Usually when it puts you back on the ground and you know that your game client is resynced back up with the server is when it kind of clunks back on the ground, and that animation lets you know that it's kind of refound. Yeah, see, I'm still floating. I suspect that I haven't actually zone changed properly and that my game is desynced again. Tonight is just not a good night for this. I have a sneaking suspicion, especially since I can't see things that are attacking me right now. And yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that if I actually log out and back in to the game, I will be back where I started before entering whichever zone caused this desync to happen. Because that is usually what happens. If it's so desynchronized that currently my player coordinates, I almost guarantee you The server probably thinks I'm sitting back there somewhere, and my game client is willing to let me fly around because it's not actually synchronized with anything right now. And I'm surprised that multiple attempts in a row it is doing this, because normally it's pretty darn good about being very playable. I guess we'll just have to end this session with showing off how cool it is to fly in the sky with a desynchronized cycle that the game just thinks is letting me, it's just letting me go wherever. So get yourself a vehicle. That's it's a huge boon in game to getting anywhere. Suddenly you feel like you can just kind of drive across the world. The maps are pretty big and it's a ways, but having a vehicle unlocks so much potential for where you can go and harvest and find new enemies and new things to do. That's about all I can really show you right now, since we are definitely very broken at this point, and I'm going to quit before I explode and ruin my game client here. Have a good one.